For our apple pumpkin project, the materials that you're going to need are an apple, and you're going to need to ask an adult to cut it in half for you, and you'll see what mine looks like in a second. You're going to need some paint. I suggest using tempera paint, acrylic paint. You could try maybe some Crayola washable paint, and you could try watercolor paint, but in my video I use tempera paint, but you can use what you have at home. You're going to need a paintbrush and then some sort of paper to print your apple pumpkin onto. So if you have regular paper, printer paper, cardboard, um, a cereal box, like the inside of that, I used for another project, you could use like a brown paper bag. And then the last two things are either crayons or markers, okay? And so these are our written directions, but I am going to show you them all. So you can see here I have my apple, I have my paint, my paintbrush. You can choose whatever type of paint you want, what color, okay? I used orange, but if you want to do all the colors, go ahead. And you can see that I cut it right in half, just like so. And I'm just getting my paper ready. And so you're going to carefully take some paint on your paintbrush, and you are going to start to paint the flat side of your apple. And again, you can be kind of creative with this. I only stuck to orange paint, but if you wanted to do a ton of different colors, like uh, you could maybe use the other half of the apple, or if you have other apples, um, you can decide if you want to paint them and do a colorful pumpkin patch, okay? So now that my apple is all painted, I'm going to press it down, and I'm going to be pretty hard, but not too hard that I'm going to crush my apple. And then once you think that you have it pressed hard enough, you're going to slowly and carefully lift it up, and you should see kind of like a pumpkin shape. Yours might look like mine, where it's like a little bit blotchy, but that's okay because we're going to take our paintbrush and fill in the spaces that are white. You could leave it if you wanted to. I happen to wanting to fill it in, all right? And then you're going to keep repeating this as many times as you want. So you can make as many pumpkins as you want, and you can put them wherever you would like on your paper. I'm going to fast forward so you can see kind of how I did mine. I did one a little bit higher, filled in my paint. I did one a little bit lower. I did one a little bit higher again. And then for my last one, I thought it'd be fun to kind of have it go off of the paper a little bit. So if you happen to have like another paper underneath, you can make yours go off the paper. You can fill your whole paper with pumpkins if you would like. And they can be all different colors. You can be as creative as you would like. Okay? So once you have them done like this, you are going to need to set your paper aside and let it dry. Okay? So in a second you'll see we need to wait for the paint to dry. Okay? Now that it's all dry, we are ready to draw on it. And you can have some options. You could use crayons. I have some watercolor paint. If you have markers, color pencils, whatever you have at home, go for it. And we're just trying to add some details to our pumpkins now. So I took a brown crayon and I was just creating the stems of my pumpkins. So I'm going to fast forward this a little bit. And then I wanted to make the lines within a pumpkin, and you can pick whatever colors you want. I chose like a magenta crayon, and I just did some curving lines. Same thing with this black crayon, and you're repeating it over and over. They all look kind of like a brownish black, but you can make yours as colorful as you want. Okay? Then the next thing that we're going to do is create some curly vines connecting our pumpkins because we want it to look like a pumpkin patch, like they all kind of grew together. You can be as wild and crazy with your vines as you would like. You don't have to have them be green. You could have them be colorful. I'm going to go in now with my paint because I love to paint, and I'm going to add some leaves. And your leaves don't need to be green. You could make them colorful. If you don't have paint, you can just use your crayons, markers, color pencils, whatever you have. But I'm going to have some fun and make my leaves all different colors. And you can make your leaves different shapes. If you wanted to add maybe some clouds or a sun or maybe even some grass, you could add that too to your picture. I wanted to keep mine kind of simple. And this is our finished project. So we have our pumpkins that we made with apples, all painted. We have some curling vines that are nice and fun, and then we have our colorful leaves. All right. I hope you guys have fun with this. If you happen to finish this project, don't forget to take a picture and send it to me. Thanks.